Alright, so, this is going to be a bit of a different video. This was going to be completely unscripted, so if I say, and stutter a lot, that's what I usually cut out. Today we're going to do a little thing where I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on every single Generation 8 Pokemon. I'm not going to rate them or anything, but just give my general thoughts of what I like, what I think could be improved, just a whole shebang. Oh, and on the last video, I had to mark it if it was for kids or not, and I know that there's some big spooky numbers going around with that. So we're just gonna put a little titty Gardevoir in the corner there for a little bit, and that's just gonna be there so I can hit the no button and not get sued for a video that'll get 3 views. So I hope that's okay. Anyway, we're just gonna go in order. Got a little thing of all of them right here, and yeah. So the Grookey line, I like them more than I thought I would. I'm not usually a big fan of monkey Pokemon, and when I initially saw it, I was like, oh really? We already had a monkey starter, and we already have a grass monkey. But I feel like it's grown on me quite a bit. Like, especially Rillaboom looks really good. I actually like Thwackey more than I think a lot of other people do. But Rillaboom's really cool. It's good to finally have a gorilla Pokemon. I know we had Oranguru, but that's an orangutan. I don't know, like, gorillas are a cool animal, and Rillaboom, I really like his big hair thing. I'm not big on the one strand of hair in front of him. I get that it's supposed to be like a rock and roll star. And we'll get to some of the humanoid aspects of the starters, but I mean, you can't really complain about a gorilla being humanoid. That's kind of what they do. He has the drum, which normally I'm not a big fan of Pokemon that have to carry around like a big object like that. But the fact that he can put it on his back helps a lot, because that's what he does when he's like in camp and stuff. And I think he looks way better without it, but it functions well enough. I get the whole thing, hitting stuff with sticks. And Grookey himself he grew on me. He's cute. Scorbunny's line. I'd probably say this is objectively the best one. Like, I feel like this is gonna be the popular one. And yeah, I like it quite a bit. I mean, I'd say it gets better for me as it goes, because Scorbunny's decent. And Cinderace I think is really cool. I love his, like, head design thing, the sort of markings on it and everything. I think that looks really good. I will say, as soon as I saw Scorbunny, I was like, oh, it's a bunny, it's gonna kick fireballs because soccer. And I think soccer is dumb, because I don't like sports in general. But, I don't know, one thing I'm not huge on is the fact that this generation, the starters are so obviously, like, it's in the UK. Thus, we need to make it super UK for the starters. Because usually, like, the rest of them stand up on their own pretty well. Like, none of them are really, like, super focused on the region that they're from. I mean, I guess Decidueye is a little bit. Like, he's based on a Hawaiian owl, but I don't know. I think these ones are a little... I hope it's not something that they do every time, at least. And the only other thing with Cinderace is it's got those tiny-ass little hands. That's a little weird. But, I mean, that's the only real complaints I have. I really like Raboot. I think he's cute. I think it's fun that it's kind of like the awkward teen phase. They really pulled out the awkward teen phase for these middle evolutions, and I find that funny. But Cinderace is really cool. The Pyro-Ball's animation, as everybody will say, is amazing. I don't know. It's a... This guy could have been firefighting. You know that they were like, we can do that. And they were like, no, maybe we shouldn't. So they're all monotype, which is a little odd. I mean, that's fine. But, yeah. Cinderace real good. I feel like that'll be the popular one. That'll probably be the one that they push super hard. We'll see if this one gets into Smash. That'd be a little ridiculous having 3 fire starters, but we'll see. Sobble line. Sobble is the one I picked, and it's weird. Because normally I like the lizard type designs. That's usually my favorite type of creatures. And this is definitely the one that I think most people have kind of gone back and forth on. Sobel's cute enough, but I think the thing that I was hoping for is something like Galissapod, where it starts off as a coward and then turns really cool looking. And Inteleon is interesting. I think most of it is just the fact that it has a weird head shape and it's extremely skinny. That's most of the reason why people are like a little hesitant on it. I do like a lot of its design motifs. I like the wing things that turn into like the flying glide thing. I like some of it. I like how like its tail is long. I could see it being great in the anime. Very interesting to animate and have a lot of cool fights. But in game, it's got that weird stance, and it's got those big hands. So Snipe Shot is really cool. I don't know, this is one that I've kind of got mixed feelings on. I don't think it's bad. Drizzle's okay. They went for like an emo thing, which is fine. I think I'm kind of with most people with Inteleon, that is like, there's goods and there's like weird parts of it. I don't know. I feel like... Because when I saw it, I knew he would turn into a basilisk, because that's something that runs on water, and this is very clearly a basilisk. But boy, they made the proportions weird. But again, I feel like this one will be better in future material. Suavit and Greedent. Basic Route 1 rodents. I'm curious where I would place them on my rankings of them. Because for me, it's like, Zigzagoon's the best, then probably Furret, then probably Rattata, and then I'm not sure where these guys would be. Definitely above Patrat. Probably above Yungoos. I'd say this is very much a Bidoof-esque Pokemon to me, where it looks like dumb in a way that's endearing. And every time I look at Greedent, all I can think is Big Chungus. That's literally all I can think of. There's never really too much to say about these. I kind of like that they have their own gimmick in the world of like berries and stuff. So yeah, they're solid. I'd say they're like mid-tier as far as Route 1 rodents, and I think they're cute. So, Rookidee, Corvisquire, and Corviknight. Corviknight is my favorite Pokemon of this generation. One of my new favorite Pokemon, just in general. I think he is so cool, and I think his line is great. Rookidee is good. I'd say it falls a little too much into the orb-ass birds that we've been getting recently. A lot of Route 1 birds have just kind of been circles. But he's still good. I like his colors. He's cute enough. Corvisquire is awesome. I really like it looks more like what I would expect. Like a bird, like the Route 1 bird, what I would want. And Corviknight is everything I could ever want. Giant night bird raven is so cool. Ravens and crows and everything are some of my favorite animals. They're really so interesting to learn about, and they've got all this like cultural significance to them. So to see them go so hard in like the Raven Pokemon, it's so awesome. I love it so much. He's really good in battle. He's got a great new ability, great design, great lore in the universe. It's awesome. I like it so much. I kind of consider this to be my actual starter Pokemon, because I used it so much and I love it. It's so good. It's got a great shiny. I want the shiny. The Gigantamax form looks awesome. Yes. All my yes. 10 out of 10. 100 out of 100. Best mod. Blipbug. Shifting over a little bit. I think Blipbug's cool. I think this line in general is one of the better Route 1 bugs. I'd probably put him at least in top 3, up there with Butterfree and Vikavolt, because this is really cool. I like its general design. I like the theme of like space travel, like Doppler effect and radar and orbital. It's cool. I like it when bugs get robot attributes. Nickit and Thievul. This is kind of a Poochyena 2 type Pokemon. I think Nickit and Thievul, they're pretty solid. I again could see them being really interesting in the anime. I could see like an episode or two dedicated to them stealing stuff. As most people will say, I think Thievul's mustache is a little on the nose. I know he's based on Guy Fawkes. Because Fox, get it? And yeah, I like his shape. I like the kind of head design. It's weird how, like, I feel like I should like it more than I do. Like, it's still good, but I feel like there should be a little bit more to him. Maybe if you got another type, you got like a secondary typing. But just, it's overall a really solid mon. I could see this being something that a lot of people have on their team, just because it's early game, it's a fox, and foxes are cool. So yeah, neat. Gossifleur and Elder Goss. I feel like Gossifleur is a way better design. I really like the hair flower motif. And this just looks like a Pokemon that should evolve again. Like, I really thought this was a 3-stage, but it just isn't. And I think that's pretty underwhelming. It's also the only Gym Leader Ace Pokemon that doesn't have a Gigantamax form, which, again, just makes it kind of weird and feel incomplete. I love Gossifleur's design, but Elder Goss is just kind of to me. And the fact that they're just both just mono grass, so they're just kind of boring. Yeah, if it continued Gossifleur's design motif, it would probably be really, really cool, but as it is, it kind of just ends on a lower note. Not bad, but could be better. Wooloo is certainly everybody's little favorite, and I like it too. I don't think I like it as much as everybody else, and that's not even because I think it's like worse than I think a lot of people do. I think it's a fantastic mascot, and I love it. It's adorable. It rolls. It's got the little pigtails, and what is there to say? It's like the most popular Pokemon since Pikachu, and I think it deserves it. Double, though, I feel like they should have done a little bit more with, because the thing is, Double seems like kind of just what you would expect it to evolve into. It's a little lamb that turns to a big goat lamb thing, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's what you would expect, but at the same time, it's like they pushed this kind of as like one of the main Pokemon of the generation. Like, Wooloo is one of the first ones you see. It's your rival's main Pokemon, which is the only time they've really done that without the starter. Or at the very least, one of the only times. It's the ending of the credits. It was one of the first Pokemon revealed. And Double doesn't even get like a Gigantamax form or anything. I would have thought that this should be a 3-stage evolution that gets a bit more to it. And has a Gigantamax so that when Hop uses it at the end, that could be like one of his main Pokemon. But as it is, it's kind of it's a solid Pokemon that I feel like they should have pushed a little bit more for its evolutions. Choodle and Dreadnought are awesome. I think Dreadnought is so cool. I was kind of hoping that they would have some sort of more angular, meaner looking Pokemon, because I always kind of like more monstrous Pokemon. And Dreadnought fits that very well. I also really like his Gigantamax because it also fits that. It's Gamera looking, and that's cool. Choodle is derpy and dumb, and it's pretty likable for that sense. I didn't expect Dreadnought's pre-evolution to look like that, but sure, why not? His dumb monobrow. He's cute, and the fact that he turns into something really cool, that fits pretty well. Yamper and Bolton are adorable. I love these guys. There's pretty much always a new dog every generation, and I feel like these guys are some of the best. A Corgi Pokemon is long overdue, and this is the perfect opportunity for it. He's so cute. He's little loaf of bread running around with barely any legs and just a big floof. He's so cute. He's got a heart on his butt. I love him. Bolton is great. It's a little weird that to see one breed of dog turn into another breed of dog, because it almost feels like you just got a new dog. But that's mainly just because, you know, growing up with dogs, we're a little less accustomed to that. But Bolton himself is adorable. I love his tail turns into a lightning bolt when he runs. I could see him again being really cool in the anime, but I already like him a lot in here. It's got a lot of personality in its face. It's really cute. I like it quite a bit, and yeah, some of these are just going to be me saying I like it because they're just good. But I like him. He's good. Roly-Coly line. I feel like a lot of people don't like this line, but I like it more than I think most people do. At the very least, I really like Roly-Coly and Charcoal. Charcoal is just really cool. I love his little wheels. He's got a really personality-filled face. They would probably be better with the red eyes, but I kind of like that they just have like the Gen 1 looking eyes. I think that's cool. And his animations are hilarious. Colossal, it is a little weird that he turns into more of a dinosaur-looking thing, and I feel like he's solid. I do think, ironically, I like his little sprite that he has on, like, when you're selecting him, because that kind of exemplifies his body a little bit more. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle, like when you look at his body from the 3D model. But I love his Gigantamax form, and I think it looks awesome. That one actually has the red eyes, and it's got a little bit more to its design to make him stand out a bit more. But I actually still think he's rather cool. He's not my favorite, but I feel like he gets too much hate. Applin, Flapple, and Appleton. I heard that there was an apple Pokemon going in, and I was like, whatever. It's probably like some Tsarina Pokemon, it's a little apple that turns into a cuter apple thing. But then when it's like, when it first came out, I was like, oh, it's apple with eyes? And then I realized, when I saw that it was Apple Dragon, or Apple Grass Dragon, it's like, it all clicked to me that it's a worm and an apple that's a Wyrm. And I found that incredibly cool. And then Flapple is this really cute little dragon that has like an apple shell, and that's adorable. The only thing about it that I think is a little weird is that his hands are kind of glued onto the apple bits, but that's a minor complaint. I think Flapple is adorable. It seems like a type of Pokemon that would be fun to have, because it would like fly around and be a cute little thing that you can hold. I could see getting like a toy, like a plush of this guy and being adorable. And Appleton is kind of the opposite, where it's this, he's small, but he looks more like a chunky little guy that's walking around and has a little derpy face. It reminds me a lot of a dog in that sense, and he's really cute. And having an apple pie split evolution is really cute, or apple turnover, because UK. And he's adorable, and I love this line. There's some good dragons in this gen. There's not a whole lot of dragons, but they picked some dang good ones. Silicobra and Sandaconda are kind of weird to me. I like Silicobra enough. They got kind of a droopy face, which is a little weird for a snake. And I kind of have a thing with Pokemon that look like they can't move very effectively, and Sandaconda does not move very effectively. In Pokemon Camp, it has to like worm around, which looks really weird. It feels like he's always stuck, and I'm not sure how he would really fight. If he could like uncoil and like move like a normal snake, then I probably wouldn't have an issue with it. But it looks like he would have trouble existing. On the flip side though, Gigantamax Sandaconda is really, really cool. I think that fixes the design entirely, and I kind of wish that was just what it was a little twister snake. Because that's a good idea, and you get to actually see his face more, as opposed to just being covered up by like a big brown thing. Cramorant is... I love this thing. At first I thought he was... I think he still is based on a Bluefoot Booby, and that's just funny, because those are funny animals. And Cramorant is just a funny Pokemon. Him diving and getting another Pokemon stuck in his mouth, or a Pikachu stuck in there. It's just something that's hilarious. Again, I want to see this guy in the anime, because I can imagine that episode being very funny of him just getting stuff stuck in his mouth. And I've seen a lot with this guy just being goofy. He's a derpy. That's just a good Pokemon to have. It's just a derpy bird. And on the flip side, there's Aracuda and Barraskewda, which were Pokemon that we first saw with Cramorant, but nobody was really sure if it was a Pokemon or if it was just a generic fish. And I was really hoping it was a Pokemon because I really liked its design, and lo and behold, it's real, and Barraskewda, its evolution, is awesome. I really like Barracudas as creatures, and so to see them being Pokemon and based on like darts and torpedoes and stuff, that's a really good fit for them, because if I'm correct, there are torpedoes called Barracuda types. And the spinning tail that Barracuda has is so cool. I just really like these guys. They got like a cool face design. He's almost got like a little French, I guess, looking thing. He looks like he would have a French accent to me. Like, maybe it's because like this kind of curly mouth he has reminds me of a like the stereotypical mustache. He's like, oh, big danger! You will be defeated by me, Barracuda. And that's a lot of fun. Also, apparently he's really good in battle because I know he's like stupid fast and really strong. So that's cool. Toxel and Toxtricity. When I first got Toxel, I was like, oh, this guy's gonna be something. This is gonna be something. I think Toxel's a little weird. It's the diaper. The diaper's weird to me. The fact that he's got a little skin diaper, that's a little like, okay, that's too baby. That's too much like baby. But then you see Toxtricity, both its forms, and they're the coolest thing ever. They've got like this awesome like electric hood thing, spikes. They got like cool head designs and horns, and it's really creative that they strum like parts of their chest to make noise, and like they're just so cool. I've heard, and I kind of agree with theories that these guys will kind of be the Lucario of this generation, because like you get one as a gift. There's like the statue of them. There's the big carving on the mountain of their Gigantamax form. They're in the end credits. Their main like I was like my brain doesn't work. Their Gigantamax form isn't released yet, but it clearly has significance. And I don't think there's any notable trainer that has. I'm not sure if there's any trainer at all that uses the Toxtricity outside of maybe the Battle Tower. And that's really interesting. I could definitely see them being a main, like, Pokemon for this generation. And that's cool. He's one of my favorites of this gen, so that's good. I could see him being the one they push, so I'd be more than happy with that. I think he's awesome. Sizzlipede and Centiskorch. These are also some of my favorites. Fire Scorpions or Fire Centipedes are really cool, unless you see them in real life, in which case you have to run away from them because they're horrible abominations. But for a Pokemon, that's fine. I like that they've got I like that Centiskorch has like the kind of Japanese samurai helmet design type head, because he just looks cool. I always like the kind of, is it a yokai or is it just a Japanese mythological being that's just a giant centipede? That's cool. I used one pretty frequently on my playthrough, and Kabu was cool. And when you first see he's Gigantic what now, and then he shoots out the Gigantamax one, it's like, oh, we're getting real here. And when I first saw Sizzlipede, I was basically just like, I need one, and I farmed for it for a while. Clobopus and Grappalot. This is one that I kind of have forgotten a few times, despite the fact that I think it's really cool. I think it's because he's only found way later game, and I found Grappalot long before I found Clobopus. But they're interesting. They look like they'd be water type, but they're just pure fighting, and there's something cool about that. I really like one tentacle being used to wrap around it as a belt, and then all the other ones being punching. I want to see this guy in more material because I could see him having a lot of cool animations and stuff. Or even just fan art and fan animations of him. Because he's a really crazy thing, like Wrestler Octopus. That's an interesting idea. I guarantee there's going to be an episode where him and Hawlucha fight, and that's going to be pretty neat. I'm surprised they didn't push them as more of a rivalry. Poltegeist and Sinziti. I still have not really pronounced that one very much. This is one that I kind of think a T Pokemon is kind of expected, but the Ghost T is a really interesting concept. I hear it's actually pretty good in battle, and it's kind of a crazy thing. I don't think I never caught one, and I haven't used it too much. I'm not really sure why. It's a good design. I think it just doesn't appeal too much to me specifically. I think tea is nasty, at least all tea I've ever had. I might probably make a lot of UK people upset. I don't care about football or tea, but maybe I just haven't had the right tea. I need to get the right tea. Is that how you do it? Is that how the memes work? They're good designs, though. I like that Sinistea is holding itself with its pinky out, and Poltergeist is based on, like, ghosts controlling objects and stuff. They're cute. I guess I just don't have much to say about them. The Hatterini line. They knew what they were doing with this one. You can't convince me that they did not know what they were doing when they introduced this line. That face is too much that they knew. The new waifu Pokemon, and I think it's pretty dang good. I really like Hattereni's design, and the first two evolutions are very cute, very appropriate. They've got the witch feel to it, the kind of control over their hair. They're pretty cute. They're actually really tiny, and they're just surrounded by hair thing is a little strange. I feel like they did that, it almost feels like on purpose, where it's like, oh, you want to draw porn of it? Ha! It's actually a little tiny thing. Take that. You can't draw porn of this. And then everybody drew porn of it, and they were like, dang it. Oh boy, this is gonna be a longer one, isn't it? Impidimp. The Impidimp line is one that I saw and I immediately fell in love with because I knew he would actually be really cool, and I love that that Impidimp itself is a horrible little gremlin, and I like things that can be described as horrible little gremlins. He's really cute and stupid, and when I first showed him to my friend, he said his exact quote was, "I hate it," with the biggest smile on his face, and that I think is the appropriate reaction. Morgren and Grimmsnarl, on the flip side, are extremely cool. I think Grimmsnarl is one of the coolest Pokemon introduced this gen, and I love it so much. Especially its like Gigantamax form that looks like an Ava. And like there's clearly so much lore and like thought put into this thing that there's a lot to just explore just culturally with it. And I love like the hair is like muscle fibers. That's really cool, and how it like peels away to like reveal the rest of it. It's great. It's so good. Obstagoon and the Galarian Zigzagoon line is kind of wacky to me because it's like, whoa, Zigzagoon got a regional variant? And I guess it's not that crazy considering Rattata got a regional variant last game. But it took me so much by surprise. Because I love Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is some of my favorite Pokemon. And Obstagoon getting an evolution is like, what? As far as Obstagoon itself, I think it's a little... I think its stance is a little weird, how it's always doing that X stance. But it's cool. It's a big... I forget the thing it's based on. It's not a werewolf, but it's something kind of similar. And the fact that it's got like Gene Simmons inspiration is kind of like, what? It works. I really like it on Zigzagoon and Linoon. And Obstagoon is pretty cool too. I like that it's Pierre's Pokemon, and the fact that it doesn't have a Gigantamax form fits ironically because he's like Dynamaxing is a no-go. It's a weird thing that happened that I didn't expect to happen, and then it happened, and I'm happy that it did. I didn't know I wanted it. Berserker is something that and Galarian Meowth, whatever. I didn't think Galarian Meowth was real. I saw it and I was like, what? Because like I was like, no, they can't do that, and then they did it. And I guess I was wrong. It looks so... It's another horrible little gremlin, and I'm happy about it. But when I got Berserker, I was really confused because I was like, wait, that's not Galarian Persian? But then no, it's just a different Pokemon, and it took me way too long than I would like to admit to figure that out. But Berserker itself is a little odd that it's still like the same size. It like still just takes me a little bit to process. Like, wait, what? You can do that? Like, I thought it was just an alternate form at first, but no, it's its own thing. And I like that it's kind of got the Viking aesthetic, and the extending claws are really cool, and his eyes going like that. I'm interested in seeing this guy more because he just took me so kind of off guard.
Cursula and Galarian Corsola make me sad, and that's one of the only Pokemon that I can honestly say truly just has made me feel bad, man. Like, I'd save the ocean, dude. Actually stop polluting it real bad. Cursula is it actually is kind of creepy looking. I think it's the fact that it kind of grows when you send it out that makes it spooky. And all the information about it is like, man, that's sad. Maybe Pokemon will save the environment. Just make another Pokemon based on the rainforest and just make it dead. That'll work out real well. Sirfetch'd is the Pokemon that people have been looking forward to for years, and the fact that it's finally here is awesome. He's got a great design, he's all smug. He's got this giant lance, even though people tend to call it a sword, but it's very clearly a lance, and he uses it like that. He's got that sort of knightly appearance. I think it's interesting that they had another night bird Pokemon when Corviknight was right there. Also, I love that Galarian Farfetch'd is just a pissed off Farfetch'd. It's just so mad and angry and hates everything. I think that's hilarious. It's weird to me that they revealed Sirfetch'd without ever revealing Galarian Farfetch'd. Because I was just like, why is it called the Galarian Evolution? But now it makes sense. And yeah, Sirfetch'd is cool. Its evolution method is really weird, but you know what? That's kind of appropriate for Farfetch'd, that you actually have to work to get it to evolve after all these years. Mr. Rhyme. I honestly cannot believe they made Mr. Mime appealing looking. I love this thing, and it's adorable. It's got its little hat, its little mustache, and its animation of walking and tap dancing. It's so, like, fun. I really like it. Just his walking and, like, stance animations are hilarious, and I love it. It's just like, well, this is a thing that it shouldn't, like, be. How did you make the worst being to exist adorable? I have to give all the credit in the world to this. I love him. He's great. Ruoringus. I can't really pronounce his name good. I feel like I was in the minority that I really liked Cofagrigus, and because I used him frequently in battles and stuff. So seeing Ruoringus, I feel like I like him quite a bit, but I don't know if I like him more than Cofagrigus. He's got a really interesting design, like putting runes on various parts of him. And I think that's pretty cool. Also, the fact that he's Ground Ghost is something that's going to confuse me, because I always think that Cofagrigus is Ground Ghost when he's not. And I look at this guy and I think Rock Ghost, but he's not, so it's like, it's going to be confusing. And he's got a really cool design. He's got more to compete with than I think for most people. But I'd say he's still pretty neat. The fact that that even exists is wacky to me. I did not expect Cofagrigus and Yamask to get a new form. Milcery and Alcremie. This is one I kind of forget frequently. It's cute, but I don't really see too much to it. It's kind of just cream, and I think that's... A lot of people don't like food Pokemon, but I feel like this is decent because it's like, it's a little creature made out of cream, and that's fine, that makes sense. The fact that there's like 8 billion different forms of it is weird, and the fact that there's like weird evolution methods for it, it's about spinning, isn't it? That's weird to me. But maybe that's why it's interesting. I don't know too much about it because I've never used one, but hey, that looks pretty tasty. Phalanx. These guys, I guess, are... I love them. Just little Kirby, Sir Kibble looking dudes that are like little Roman soldiers is so cute. The fact that they like have their little never surrender type move is, they're so lovely. I really want to see these guys in the anime because I feel like that would be just a joy to see do things. Just as a little group with one that's in charge while all the others are like little followers. They look like little kids that have, like the one kid that's like, I'm the leader, let's go on an adventure, and they're all like, yeah, it's so cute, I love them. Pinchurin is a Pokemon that I forget exists, because it is just a little spike. He's fine, not amazing, but he's fine. In fact, I feel like he gets completely overshadowed by, next up, Snom. Snom has become his own meme, and that's very appropriate. Because his name is Snom. And he's just a little Snom that just goes, wiggles. Whenever you see Snom move, it's great, and everything about him is just this little baby. And it's lovely. Frostmoth, on the flip side, is really pretty, really cool looking. I feel like his body could be a little more than just a circle, but I love the wing design. It's so cool. I'm kind of curious if this was going to be a Galarian, what's it called? Galarian Volcarona, but I guess that would really work with considering the name. It's a little surprising that Volcarona isn't in this game, because I can imagine these two being an interesting pair to deal with. But yeah, Snom. Stonejourner, we're going to get into a couple of the more forgettable Pokemon here, but Stonejourner is kind of one that I forgot existed because I could never find it. And it's kind of a strange thing, just sentient Stonehenge. It's like, oh, I mean, fair enough. I actually didn't realize. So I didn't know this thing existed for a while. Despite the fact that it's on that little poster thing that you can put your head through near the grass gym. It's on that little poster thing with a greet it, and I didn't recognize it. I was just like, what's this? I thought it was rocks. No, it's a Stonejourner. He's kind of cool. I don't have too much to say about him, because he's a Stonehenge thing, and I never got it, so... Ice-Cube I feel like gets a lot of hate, despite the fact that I think it's pretty cute. It's a penguin with a big icicle thing on his head. That's funny. And it's got a cool gimmick that it like loses the ice and it's got a little stupid looking face, and it's hilarious to me. I don't think it's in Sword, so I didn't even find it. So he's just kind of a weird thing. I guess people don't like that he's just a basic penguin, but there's been some like that. He's had a little bit of stuff to make him a bit more fantasy. I could see him going through a little bit of a change and maybe add a bit more ice to the rest of him. But I don't know, I like his big dumb head. It's funny to me. Indeedee is, again, just kind of okay. I was... it's weird, the reveal for it, because you go into the Pokemon Center and there's just one there. And you're like, what is that? What is it? And you can't talk to it or see what it is at all. So throughout the whole game, I was just like, what is that thing? I can't see it. And then you find it, and it's called Indeedee, and it's a normal Psychic type. And it's like, well, I mean, fair enough. I like that they're maids and butlers. I feel like they were like, uh-oh, we gotta make a maid one. So people are gonna be drawing things, so they tried to avoid that. And I haven't seen much art in that sense of it, so maybe they succeeded. Probably not. There's probably a lot of it. I just haven't seen it. More Pico. So this is Mary. I forget how to pronounce her name. This is the best girl rival. It's kind of her Pokemon, despite the fact that she stops using it later, which is kind of surprising. It's the Pika clone, so it's overall it's kind of, it's okay. The sort of changing the hangry gimmick, changed around. That's cute. It itself is pretty cute. It kind of looks like it could evolve, but then again, pretty much none of the Pika clones have evolved. And the fact that she's kind of stopped using it in like hardcore battles is interesting to me, because that kind of screams that it's like they know that it's not really fit for battle. But hey, it's cute, and I actually really like the character that it's kind of attached to, so there's that. Other than that, it was decent. Hoofant and Caparajah. Okay. I don't like them as much as what's his name? As Phanpy and... oh shoot, what's Phanpy's evolution? How am I forgetting Phanpy's evolution's name? Starts with a D, and I'm forgetting it. How am I stupid? How am I this stupid? How am I forgetting Donphan's name? How do I forget Donphan's name? His name is Donphan, and I forgot it for like 20 minutes because I'm dumb. I like Donphan more than these two, but I like that Copperajah is actually an elephant that's size. Like, it's actually big, and that's appropriate. I don't get why they're squares. Well, at least I don't get why Copperajah is just square. Because, I guess because copper. But I really like its color, that it's like green with orange markings on it. I think that's really interesting. I like the Copperajah's got that... Gigantamax has the steel move, has a steel stealth rocks. And I like that he's like Indian inspired. That's cool. I guess there's not too much to say. He's kind of bad otherwise, and competitive. But yeah, cool. So the fossils. So I made a whole video about the fossils and what I was hoping for / expecting, and this is not what I was expecting at all. But I like them. I actually really like that they went with this direction. I proposed in the video that maybe they would do something about like previous interpretations of dinosaurs, and they did, but not in a way that I was expecting. They made it like a fully fantasy type take on it, where they put all the bones together wrong of different species, and that's pretty funny. Of them, Dracozolt is super good. It's super cool. I like it a lot. Obviously, like the mismatch part of it is a little weird, but I really like Zolt. I think Zolt is adorable. It's basically a Velociraptor, a Stegosaur maybe, a Plesiosaur maybe, and a Dunkleosteus. And so that is cool. I'm really glad that a Velociraptor and a Dunkleosteus were finally brought in, and I hope someday we can get fully restored versions of them, because I like all of their designs a lot individually. Arctozolt makes me feel bad for them because he looks like he's in pain, despite the fact that if he just wasn't shivering, I would really like the design. I think it's really good. Dracovish is... he's hilarious, and the fact that he's so strong is just... oh, it's funny to me. Arctovish is okay. I would actually really like him if his head was on correctly, because he would actually... but then I think they didn't want him to look correct at all, but to me that kind of ruins it, which is too bad, because like if it was on right, I think I would like it a lot. But I really like these fossils. Their lore is good, their designs are funny, but also still kind of cool. The only thing about them that I really want is I want to see their full forms. I want to see Zolt, Draco, Vish, and Arcto all actually like kind of put together properly. Because I feel like looking at their designs, they would be great fossil mons in that sense too. So here's hoping. Drulodon is a weirdo because you'd think he would have some pre-evolutions, but he doesn't. He's just what he is. And he's a big metal thing that I'm not really sure what he is. He's so weird and strange, but I like him. He's a cool looking thing. He's got like lighter influence, robotic stuff. I'm not really sure. I'm not even sure where you actually find him. But he's Drayden's ace, and that's cool because Drayden is awesome. He's probably the best gym leader in the whole thing, and he's actually decently challenging with this guy. I don't really know what to say. He's just so weird. And the fact that he's got kind of a rivalry with Tyranitar is interesting, because you'd think then he would have pre-evolutions. This is an overall strange thing, but I kind of like that. I like it when they toss a bit of a curveball as far as weirdo designs. Everyone's kind of expecting him to be the pseudo-legendary, but then we got Dreepy. The first shiny I got in this game by complete accident, and I feel like a cool guy. The Dreepy line is awesome. I love that they've got like stealth bomber jet heads. They have that shoots their own babies. The ghost dragons, which is awesome. Their whole line is just greatly designed. I do think it's dumb that Dracoloc Dreepy technically evolves into Dracoloc at level like 50, and he's basically useless for that whole beginning part of it. And that's kind of dumb, because just let me use the cute little guy the whole game. Then you get Dragapult, who is so cool, and I love that his tail is a ghost-like, and he's based on prehistoric amphibians, and the Stealth Bomber Jet, and he's shooting his little babies when you have a shiny one. The Jeepies are shiny too, and that's cute. And the only thing I'd say that's a little weird is his stance of just him kind of holding his feet up like that. Looks a little weird. I'm not big on just how he's always standing like that. To me, he looks better when he's like moving around, kind of like normal. Like it looks like he's actually like swimming and flying and stuff. So I think he'll look better in other media when he's in, like when he's in fan animations, and if he shows up in any other video games. But overall, really, really good. I like this pseudo line a lot. I use it very frequently because I got that shiny one. As far as the shiny goes, I like its colors. I like red more, but the yellow is good too. Yeah. Really good. Oh, speaking of Zacian and Zamazenta. Hi. My dog has decided to join as soon as I talk about Zacian. Rock, what's your opinion on Zacian? Is it that you want a treat? Is that it? I think that is your opinion. Alright, I'll give him a treat while I mention these two. I think that Zacian and Zamazenta are fantastic on pretty much every sense of the word. There's a dog eating a treat right there. Zacian is so cool, and there's a reason why everybody is buying up his plushes and stuff, because a wolf holding a sword is guaranteed cool. It's got such a great kind of aesthetic with the colors, and the fact that they both have that sort of warrior hardened form that is actually technically their main form looks really good. Their animations for their big ultimate moves is cool. There's two wolves, great. I love big attack, big defense. They're really ridiculously strong and some of the best Pokemon in the entire series. Zamazenta, I really like his big main shield covering him. They're just cool. They're great. Box art legendaries. A little surprising they're both wolves. Usually the box arts are a little different from each other, but these two are the most similar we've ever seen. And they're the most associated, I think, because they're just straight up together. Like, when you encounter them in this game, you see them both, which is something that I forget. Yeah, the other games really never do. I'm trying to think. The only other time I think I've seen that is Black and White. And these two are together even more than that. And I really liked the part where they came in and helped you against Eternatus, who is our next one, because Eternatus is wacky. The fact that it's this weird, experimental design, my one friend described it as borderline doesn't look like a Pokemon, but I think that's okay. That it's so alien, it almost looks like an Ultra Beast. But like even further than that, and I really like it. I would describe it as one of the most experimental Pokemon. And kind of one of the creepier ones. Also, is he supposed to be like a gun or a spear or something? I'm not thinking that they'll make a third version of Sword and Shield, but like you got Sword and Shield, and then what are you? What is this thing? He shoots it like a gun. Maybe he is a gun. I could see him. I definitely think he'll get another form besides his other already existing form. He kind of also reminds me of Giratina. I wonder if that's intentional. Foreshadowing? And that is all of them. There's also all the Gigantamax forms. I'm going to go over that rapid fire right now. So Charizard, I really, really like Charizard's design. I get that it's kind of a little favoritism towards him. I expect Bulbasaur, or Blastoise and Venusaur to get one soon. But I really like Gigantamax Charizard's design. Same's just actively worse, competitively. Butterfree, really, really cool. I always thought Butterfree deserved a Mega along with Beedrill. If they ever just want to bring Megas back, they could just use this design for it because it looks fantastic. Its move is actually really good too. Pikachu is chunky and very cute. It's kind of wacky, but it's adorable. Meowth is long. It's such a weird meme thing, but I love it. Machamp is really cool. He looks like a Ben 10 alien. Same that he is, again, actively inferior than his regular form. Gengar is decent. I like Mega Gengar a lot more, but I think this is at least decent as well. It's kind of weird that he looks like a big funhouse. That's a little odd, but it's cool enough. Kingler is super cool. I'm really glad Kingler got something like this. I love it. The big foam beard is kind of weird, but the fact that he's based on snow crabs, I believe, king crabs maybe, just long leg crabs is really cool. He looks wacky. Lapras is beautiful. I love the music stuff going around him. It's really strong. It's got like a really good move for it. And Lapras finally getting something is great. Eevee's cute. I would have preferred though if we got a new Eeveelution this gen. But just big ol' Eevee's fine, I guess. He's cute enough. Snorlax is hilarious. I still kind of wish that rather than that we got Mega Snorlax that's just ripped and switches to be really strong attacking. But this guy's fun. The fact that he's kind of Torterra-esque is cute. Just, he has all of the land on him. It's fun. Garbodor, on the flip side, being just all the garbage to ever be it's funny. He looks goofy, and it's funny that Garbodor, of all things, got a big form like this. I already said Corviknight looks amazing. Everything about Corviknight's great. I can't say anything more that's just good about him. He's cool. Orbeetle is, well, oh my goodness, I haven't actually gotten a good look at it yet, but the fact that he's a UFO is awesome. Orbeetle's line is great, and this is a cool final interpretation of it. Dreadnought is cool. The only thing that's a little weird about him is he's got that big thing that hides his face, but he's really cool. I like to use Gamera. Colossal is better like this than any of the other forms. It looks really cool. Flapple is pretty neat. It's more of like a Gigantamax Applin, but hey, I like him quite a bit. He's cute. He's got camera apple, and that's fun. And the same as the other one. I already said that Gigantamax Sandaconda is just a better version of Sandaconda. I like him a lot more. Scorch is amazing. I love that yokai type inspiration of it. The fact that he curls up like the radiator is cool. Hatterene, I like as soon as somebody pointed out that it is a princess and a tower, but so it's both the princess and the tower. That's really fun. Grimmsnarl is the coolest looking thing ever. I like this design so much. It looks so intimidating and scary. It is cool. Alcremie, I kind of forget that it has one of these, but it looks pretty decent. Big cake, that makes sense. I like it. Caparaja is a womp, and that's funny to me. It looks kind of dumb, but his move is really good. Duraludon is a 5-star hotel that I want to stay at and die. And I think the only ones left are Toxtricity. I actually really like Toxtricity's Gigantamax form. It's really cool. It's not what I expected at all, but the fact that it kind of turns feral it's cool. I really want to see it release and want to see what kind of stuff they have planned for it, because clearly it seems a bit different. And that's Generation 8 Pokemon. I think this is overall really strong. There were a few that I kind of wish were a little different. But overall, really good. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. This is just kind of an additional thing I wanted to do. This was very long, and I'm bordering on almost an hour now. So yeah, good luck with that. Me editing this, I'm gonna hate myself. Bye-bye!